Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Mastermind Bites, I get to feature another amazing individual, a master of their skill set. And the reason why I have this show is because over the last few years, I've been so privileged and so honored to meet some amazing individuals, some legends, some celebrities, and get to learn from them, hear them speak, get to know what they do and how they become successful the way they are. And I just want to take those lessons learned and apply to our everyday lives and also in our businesses as well. And today I'm very, very excited to be able to feature Mr. Michael J. Fox. This guy is a legend, and I have a very, very soft spot because he's also from my very hometown, Edmonton, Alberta. And this guy is absolutely amazing. He's gone through so many different trials and tribulations, so many challenges, yet he's still able to overcome all those challenges. He's still able to pursue his dreams and his goals and achieve so much success. He has gotten 5 Emmys. He's a best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author. He's written 4 books. He's known as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. And then also he's done Spin City and a lot of different cameos in a lot of different shows as well. He's just accomplished so much stuff. Because of his work, because of what he's done, and for the Parkinson's environment and all that kind of stuff, he's also gotten the Officer of the Order of Canada recognition, and he's just done so much. As you know, a lot of people know him as the Back to the Future person, Marty McFly, and also his work for Parkinson's and bringing up awareness for Parkinson's disease. He's been diagnosed since the age of 29, and prior to that, Parkinson's wasn't really that well known. Not many people gave it that much attention, but because of who he was and also because of his age, he was able to bring so much more awareness to it, and he was able to bring up this foundation that he's been putting together and has raised so much funds and so much great work towards the finding cure for Parkinson's. And that's why he's still able to be so relevant. He's been so able to impact and add value to all those people around him and also the community. And he's done so much amazing things. And to be able to feature this guy is absolutely great because he's such an inspiration. He's such a legend, and he's still going. In his mid-60s now, he's still going. He's still pushing. He's still working. He's still being a great advocate for the Parkinson's environment, and it's just absolutely amazing. Now, going through some of his stuff and also listening to him speak and also getting to meet him, I found that there's a few things that I thought was really, really important for us as entrepreneurs and also as individuals as well. For instance, this guy is known as one of the most optimistic people in Hollywood, one of the most optimistic people that you will ever meet. And to think that for somebody like him who has been through so much trials and tribulations to still do what he does, it is truly an inspiration. Just think about what you can do without those trials and tribulations that he is facing every single day. Just to give you a little bit of context, think about it every single day. You wake up and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get up, go to the washroom, brush my teeth, come down, grab a glass of milk, get some breakfast, and go off to work. Well, for him, it doesn't work that way. He needs to plan out every single step from his bed to his bathroom, how he's going to walk, how he's going to be holding on to things, where he may or may not fall, how is he going to protect himself. And then once he grabs his toothbrush, his hands are shaking, he's shaking here and there, and he needs to be able to adjust to that. He has to be able to face that, how to overcome those challenges. And something that you do every single day, it takes him 5, 10, 15 times longer, or it takes him more time, and it's a lot more harder for him to actually accomplish those things that we take for granted. Yet, he's still acting. Yet, he's still writing books. He's still speaking. He's still advocating. He's still doing so many things. And sometimes you have to sit back and go, what am I doing? Who am I? And what am I doing to add more impact and more value to the world? And you see Michael J. Fox doing so many things, and you start thinking, maybe I can do something more. Maybe I can overcome the challenges that I'm facing every single day. So for him, there's these 5 things that I really think stands out when it comes to building your personal growth, building your business, and that mindset that he has is absolutely applicable to everything that we do. And those 5 things are, number 1, you have to be grateful, because once you have gratitude, everything else falls into place. Number 2, you have to just look at the funny when it comes to situations. Deal with the funny first, the drama, all the negativity, you could deal with it later. But if you look at the funny part of things, funny things part of life, then you can actually laugh and enjoy life a little bit more and not take things too seriously. Number 3, you have to look at things step by step, one step at a time and one little step at a time, and you'll get to where you want to get to. Number 4 is that think about all the stuff that got you to where you are today. Think about all the successes that you have gotten. What was it that got you to those successes? And ask yourself, why are you not taking those actions that get you to more successes? And then the last one is optimistic is not a choice. Really? Because you have to choose to become optimistic, and there's no other way to live but to be optimistic. So it's not a choice. You have to go and be optimistic. So looking at it a little bit more in detail, when I talk about gratitude, he's always said that once you have gratitude, be grateful to everything that's around you. Be grateful for the people and for himself. He was really grateful for the support he's gotten, for the help that he's gotten, for the people around him that's been able to support him, that's been able to be there every step of the way, even if he had this disease that's been on him for his entire life. Because of that, he's very, very grateful. He sees all the great things that's around him. He sees all the achievements he's accomplished. He sees all the great work he does and all the impact that he's been making. And therefore, he's able to accept what he is facing. And when you are grateful, then optimism is actually sustainable. You're able to accept the things that's coming to you. You're able to accept the things that are challenging you. And therefore, once you're accepting of that, you're able to overcome and meet those challenges and move on and stay optimistic because you're grateful for everything else around you. Number 2 is you just sometimes have to deal with the funny. Look at the funny situations and how it is actually funny and laugh at it and enjoy that moment. He had this one little example of he was talking to his wife and his wife came in and says, "Hey, I'm going to go up to the store and I'm going to get some," and then he fell over. And then she actually leaned over. "Oh, so you fell down. Don't worry about it. Just don't get up. But I'm going to go and get the keys. I'm going to go grab some milk. I'm going to get some eggs. Don't worry about it. You don't need to help me out. I'm just going to go get myself." And he just kind of, the scenario was pretty funny in its own. And they didn't really deal with the actual seriousness or didn't really deal with the trauma of it because they could find the funny of it. And that's the mindset they have in that family where they look at the funny things side of things. And by doing that, they're able to support each other. They're able to laugh. They're able to have fun. And then the trials and tribulations they're able to face and overcome. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting to look at the funny side of all situations and just laugh at it. Don't take yourself too seriously. You can deal with it. Number 3, step by step. As I mentioned before, he needs to plan out every single step of the way. He needs to think about how he's going to get to one step or another. He has to think about how he's going to be able to finish the task that he takes. Now, he actually compares that to golf because every time you golf, you have to think about, okay, I have to get my knees not locked up. I need to be flexible. I need to shift my weight. He has to think about all that stuff in order for him to hit a golf ball. Same thing, he applies the same mindset to when he's walking, one step at a time, thinking about, okay, I need to move 1 foot forward, transfer the weight, pivot, move 1 foot forward again, pivot the weight. And he has to have that mindset throughout his entire life. And therefore, it's just step by step. Every single step you take gets you closer towards your goals. No matter how small, no matter how big, as long as you're moving towards the right direction, and as long as it's the right action, it doesn't matter what it is, you're going to be able to get to your goals and you're able to achieve the things you always want to do. So you have to think. And especially for him, when his mind is working so much faster and has this mind of its own compared to his body, then he has to be able to adjust and modify as he sees fit. So therefore, you have to be able to take one step at a time. Number 4 is about looking at the scenarios of what you have been able to be successful in. There was a period of time where he wasn't acting, he wasn't doing all the things that he used to love doing, and he kind of sat there and thought about, wait a minute, what about all the stuff I love doing? What about all the stuff that got me to the fame and to the success that I've gotten? And that was acting. That was being on stage. That was being in TV. That was doing all these little things. And therefore he goes, you know what? This is what I have to do. Let's get off the couch and go out there and look for different roles. Let's look for different ways of making it work. And therefore he went out there and still did cameos, did special appearances, did talk shows and all that kind of stuff, stayed relevant. And that's because that is what has got him successful before. And once you recognize what it is that gets you success, then you need to emphasize and focus more on that. And when you can focus more on that, then you'll be able to become more successful. You're going to be able to achieve more. And therefore, you'll be able to be more grateful because you're able to succeed. And it all goes around and around and become more optimistic. And the fifth thing is about that optimism. He is known as one of the most optimistic people in the world. He is one of the most optimistic people in Hollywood. And that mindset, having to deal with all the stuff that he has to deal with and still be optimistic is absolutely incredible. And the thing is, he has this thing about looking at the good side of things. He has this thing about putting the negativity stuff into the shiny box to make it look so that you can see the optimistic side of things. Now, even for him, sometimes it does get a little bit tiresome. Sometimes it does get challenging. And he has hit that moment once in his life where he just finished. Actually, the thing is, he had the challenges of having Parkinson's, and then just a few years ago, he actually got diagnosed with some kind of spinal cancer, which he had to get surgery for. He has to rethink about how to walk. He has to relearn how to walk. And after all that, he was still optimistic to be able to add value, to be able to create, and to be able to go out and do roles and actually do cameos and whatnot. And then finally, this one instance where his daughter came down and go, hey, do you need any help? He goes, no, don't worry about it. I could take care of myself. And other people came in, are you sure? We're going to look after you and make sure that you're okay. And he goes, no, that's okay. Go home, go back to work, whatever it is, just leave me alone. I could take care of it. And right when he was feeling a little bit cocky, he was feeling a bit good about himself, he did this little quick turn and he fell on the floor and he shattered his arm. This is after his spine surgery. This is after recovering from that surgery and was told to be very careful, and he shattered his arm. At that moment, as he's lying on the floor thinking and waiting for the ambulance and help to get there, he was thinking about all the people he's let down. He was thinking about all the people he's sorry for, and for all the people that that has to come and help him and all kind of stuff. He was still blaming himself for all the stuff that happened because he couldn't control getting Parkinson's. He couldn't control getting the spinal surgery, but he could have controlled the decision he made to not receive the help that he was offered. He could control the fact that he was a little bit more over his head and said, you know what, I could take care of myself. And then that is when he fell over and shattered his arm. And at that moment, he was still thinking that, you know what, I have to be able to be grateful for everybody. I am sorry to everybody. He was still blaming himself. He didn't blame anybody else. He didn't blame the Parkinson's. He didn't blame the surgery. He didn't blame anything else but himself. And at that moment, he was still able to take that and go, wait a minute, I could take this and make it into another book. And sure enough, he wrote his next book, and he was inspired to write his next book because of that incident. So even if he was down at his lowest moment, he was down in his confidence, his esteem, and his optimism was low, he was still able to take that scenario, switch around, find the good, and use it as inspiration to write his next book. And I thought that was absolutely powerful. So those 5 things with regards to Michael J. Fox, once again, are number 1, being grateful for everything and everyone around you, because being grateful allows you to be optimistic. Number 2, you have to deal with the funny. Look at the funny side of things and not take things too seriously, because that is how you can progress. Number 3, one step at a time. He has to rethink about how to walk. He has to rethink how to walk to certain things and how to take action because of his scenario and his situation. Number 4 is sometimes you have to take a step back and recognize what it was that got you successful and focus on that stuff and go out and do it again. And then finally, number 5, being optimistic is really not a choice. You have to be optimistic in order for you to succeed and move on and achieve the things that you want to achieve and to add value to the community and also be able to impact as many more people as you can. And that is the 5 things that I thought was absolutely incredible from Michael J. Fox, an absolute inspiration, somebody who is able to take his life lessons and still be able to add value to the community, add value to the environment and also the world, bring awareness to Parkinson's. I highly suggest that you look at some of the stuff that he puts up there and also the foundation that he's put together to find a cure for Parkinson's. Absolutely incredible. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned a lot from Michael J. Fox, and I highly encourage you to go out and look at some more information about him and also listen to some of his talks as well. Absolutely inspirational. And if you like this episode, please go back to look at some of my other episodes on Mastermind Bites. Please like, subscribe. I thank you so much for your support and all your comments and all your likes, because I love seeing those comments and being able to add value to you. And if you like this show, please go back and look at some of my other shows, the Mastermind Bites, the Peak Potential Success Show, the Unlocking Your Mind, and also the Make More Mind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.